How did hidrenitis affect my life? Hidrenitis suppurativa affected my life. Believe it or not, hidrenitis, at first, it gave me depression. I felt like I was given a disease that was out of my control. At first, I felt like I was cursed. I felt like an outcast. I felt like nobody could understand me. I tried to figure out, like, how can I have a career where I show my private areas for a living? How can I have this career and the disease at the same time? Then it dawned on me that I can't. Because I was suffering behind closed doors and no one knew it. No one knew that I've spent most of the last 10 years suffering, crying, going to the ER, allowing the doctors to cut me open, cut my armpits open. I had like 2 surgeries where they would put me sleep and I would wake up with like just big ass scars underneath my arms. And guess what? The scars never healed. And the reason they never healed was because the abscess kept growing through them. So imagine scar tissue with sores still growing through them. I'll say one thing, my suffering was not in vain. Because when I suffered, I was also documenting so that one day I could tell my story and that one day I could share information that could possibly help someone else. And obviously it's the reason God make us. It's the reason why we are the way we are. But we also have the power to change how we feel about what we're going through. We have that much power over our lives. Well, at least that's what I believe. At first, when I got the disease, 2016, it was not as aggressive as it is now. But I suffered because I didn't have any medication inside my body. I would start medication and stop, start, stop. So we would call that binging. I would binge my medication, which only made the disease worse. Now I'm steady on my medication. 8, 10 years later, I'm steady on my meds. It affected my life because I have free will. You have free will. I chose to be an adult actress. I chose because I was infatuated with the thought of being a vixen. I am infatuated with the thought of being a vixen and the thought of men desiring me, pedestaling me. At the time, I was like, I felt like Karen Stephan, I felt like, like a goat, like I'm in the perfect career. This is what I want to do. I should do it. And I was modeling. I was a dancer. And then I got scouted into porn through Pinky Triple X. Her team scouted me from Chicago. But I was already active, music videos, photo shoots. I would do my own photo shoots, my own hair and makeup. I would do my own things. all me, until the disease got aggressive. When the disease got aggressive, it started to mess with my mind. I wanted to be like every other girl. I wake up, I take pictures, I take videos. I wanted to be like every other girl. I wanted to shoot and make sex videos just like them. I feel like God had other plans for me. I kept trying, like, even though my body was crashing, I was getting sick and sick and sick and sick. My body and my immune system was crashing. It got real chronic. It got real bad real quick. I remember going to my first scene. This was with Bang Bros. I remember showing up and I had gauze underneath my arms because they had cut them open like the day before. The day before my scene, they had cut me open in my arms so that I could be pain-free. And sometimes if I knew that I had a scene coming up, I would go and get cut on because I didn't want to go fly out to Miami, fly out to Los Angeles, and I'm in pain, you know, so I didn't want to do it. So then I would get surgery. It was an outpatient surgery just for them to cut your armpits, or the most chronic area that the disease hit in the beginning stage of my career was my armpits first. Then it moved to my breast, like the inside of my breast. I started to get lumps, and those needed to be cut too as well. Then it reached my vaginal area, and then they eventually had to cut on like my vagina to release the pain from the abscess. Once the disease traveled to my vagina and they had to cut it, they didn't have to cut my whole vagina. They just had to cut a part of it, like to get the sore out, the hidrenitis. When they did that to me, that's when I knew I can't do movies anymore. I'm suffering. And the world doesn't understand what suffering means. Because the world is not suffering. People are suffering. And until you've been in that situation where you've suffered, that is only when you will know what suffering is. I suffered in silence. I would go shoot for Pinky, Brazzers, Bang Bros, Score, Land, independent companies. I was suffering. I had sores in my armpits, on my breast, on my butt, on my vagina. I was suffering. But I'll tell you one thing, guys. I don't suffer anymore. I am plant-based. I have cookbooks. I cook all my foods. I make fresh foods daily. There are times I don't have the energy, and that's okay. I do the best that I can. I feel like when my disease got aggressive and I stopped shooting, I stopped making my own videos for my own websites, my income, I was never rich. I just had steady cash flow. My money was always coming in to pay for bills. And then eventually, I was able to get to rent a house. I was like, wow, this is cool. I have an LLC. I have 4 years worth of taxes, and I have cash flow. I was in a sweet spot. But technically, this is my testimony that when you suffer, it is not in vain. When you suffer, it is for change. It is for you to figure out what needs to change to stop the suffering. I decided to end my career on my own. Nothing was wrong with the adult industry. All my tests were clear. I was with my ex 14 years. He never got a positive test. I never got a positive test. From my experience, the industry was clean enough for me. Until the end, I felt like the girls were getting very negligent. And I have a high immune system, like a sensitive immune system at that. And I felt like the girls in the industry, they weren't taking health seriously. Like the girls in the industry right now do not take health seriously. They don't treat infections like yeast infections, bacterial vaginosis. Girls are still shooting with these infections, which is absurd to me because at this age that I am, I'm in my 30s, I wouldn't dare shoot a scene with bacterial vaginosis with yeast infection. Like these girls have a lot of balls to get on set with their vaginal smelling the way it does. That is another reason I had to just quit because I'm like, the girls are not clean. I already have an infectious disease. I just can't anymore. So then I went on a spiritual journey, and that is my personal business. Maybe one day I'll tell you guys about my spiritual journey and what I found along the way and what I believe in, you know. I am healing inside and out. And what I want to do next, I don't think I'm prepared for what I want to do next. But I do think that I am being prepared for it. I am living in Nevada. It's a lot of homelessness. I've experienced homelessness. Landlords are very strict. A person is left homeless just because they didn't go to court. So I've experienced some things that changed my mentality. I want to start this nonprofit and I want to feed the homeless. I've already been feeding the homeless. I personally don't make enough money to continue to feed the homeless. So I'm going to drop a link down below and I want you guys to support my charity. I want you guys to donate to my charity here in Las Vegas. I'm going to be feeding the homeless. I'm going to be helping with the youth. There are youth shelters here and the people need help. I am a sickly person. I have an infectious disease that has no cure. So what I choose to focus on now is not the same things as I focused on before. When you have suffered, that is when change should happen. You should evolve in your suffering. You should not stay the same. Let that sink in. So having this disease has changed me mentally and spiritually. I have given so much to the industry while I suffered. While I was in pain, I didn't say a word. I didn't say a word. Even my family to this day don't know how much I've suffered and struggled with this disease and how serious it is that I must cook all my foods from scratch to make sure that I keep my immune system not overreacting. So it is hard battling any disease, honestly. But this disease has changed me spiritually. It has changed my soul. I don't care about things that I used to care about. When I suffered, no one was there for me but God. I suffered to the point I didn't want to live anymore. I was suffering. Every time I ate something, I was suffering. Now, there are people that say, do this, do that, do this, do that, do this. I have removed foods from my life. I am plant-based. I am dairy-free, meat-free, sugar-free. And there are days when I fast. I'm learning to fast. I'm learning to be the person that can fast better than what I do now. I want to fast better so that my body can cleanse. I need to do more detoxes So right now I still have my websites, but right now I want to go back to the past. The things that I cared about, like fashion design, making my own bra maybe for the big breasted women, my charity, acting school. There's so much that I want to do. And don't let anyone tell you because you've done adult film that that is all you're for. Let God tell you what you're for. Most of these men don't know where they're going. Most of these women don't know where they're going and how to get there. So it's hard for me to listen to anyone, really. Especially they have not walked in my shoes, or why would I listen? So I do appreciate everyone telling me what I should do to avoid the disease that I've had 10 years that is extremely aggressive. I appreciate it, but no thank you. I've done enough. And you should start your own YouTube and spread awareness for the disease. That's what I feel like you should do. If you want to help someone, that's what you should do. Because your advice on how I can fix this disease, I'm not going to take your advice. Because all of our bodies are different, and what works for you may not work for you. So, where I'm headed right now, I feel like is a great place. And I feel like everyone can't come where I'm going. You know, I feel like I will be in a place of greatness. And not everyone will be in that place of greatness. And I feel like where I'm going, I deserve it. So, if you're out there and you have a disease, cancer, arthritis, celiac, gastrogestion, I think that's what it's called. Whatever disease you have, figure out what you need to do and give yourself grace. Grace. Give yourself grace. I've given myself grace. I'm not pressuring myself to do adult films because my fans want me to do it. I've suffered. I'm not doing it. I've suffered. And I'm done suffering. And I am grateful for my experience in the adult industry. It has taught me a lot. I just pray that everyone in the industry evolves into something and someone better than what they was the day they stepped there. Life is all about change. And I pray you change. I pray you find peace. Peace and love to you. Till next time.